How's it going, everyone? Good to be back for another week in my life. Update, it is Thursday morning, 8:30 in the morning. I've got my coffees. Now, I'll let you in on a little secret. Josh and I are doing a health kick, we'll call it that, a little health challenge. And part of that was cutting out all the bad stuff, cutting out alcohol, and just eating clean. So just protein and veggies, and no complications. We made an agreement that we wouldn't do any fancy coffees, but I was having mochas because I used to have mochas all the time. And so I thought, that's not fancy. It's not a double shot frappuccino with extra caramel salt. Like, it's not one of those drinks. It's just a mocha. But turns out, Josh then found out about that. He looked it up online and found out that a mocha from Starbucks, a large one, has like 500 calories in it. As soon as he said that, I can't have another one because it's just defeating the purpose of this whole being healthy thing and trying to, be in a deficit and still eat super clean. So this morning instead, I've got an espresso shot. This is rubbish. I don't know why people drink that. And then I've also got what is this? Long black or Americano? One of the two. I did Google the difference this morning because I didn't know what the difference was. Apparently it's in the order that you put the shot of coffee in. You either do it before or you do it after. And that makes a difference to the taste, as far as I understand. So we're going to try this. I'll do a live taste test of this. There's a bit of spillage. It's okay. Okay, it doesn't smell as strong. See, that I can live with. That I can live with. But anyway, putting that to the side, big day of work today. I've scheduled out all of my tasks for the next week, or the rest of the time that I'm in Bali, which will likely be until the 10th of September. So I've scheduled out exactly what I need to do before then. In my task manager in Notion, absolutely love Notion, scheduled everything out, and now I've just got to chip away and get it all done. Freedom Club launch coming up on the 1st of September. A lot to do before then. So this is probably going to be one of the busiest work weeks of my life. We'll call it that. And I'm still going to manage and juggle triathlon training, which my coach seems to be increasing the workload at the moment. Thank you very much to him. And yeah, just a bit of bouncy around as well with a few small little travel things. Moving villa again, moving to a new place. Trying to maintain a good, healthy routine while also getting huge amounts of work done, which... we'll make it work. Standard lunch order. You've been watching the vlogs, you know what we go for. We go for 400 grams of steak, 200 grams of chicken, mixed veggies, sliced apple. It's perfect. It's perfect. So first meal of the day, I don't have brekkie. I do intermittent fasting until 12, what's the time? Yeah, it's 1 o'clock now. So I do intermittent fasting until 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then have this as my meal that breaks the fast, and I pretty much have the same thing every day without fail. Especially here in Bali, I found a few places that I like getting my food from, and they always do it well, it always tastes good, and delivery's quick. So I stick with those, and one of them is Sunday Kitchen. Love them. I spend so much money on Sunday Kitchen because they bump up their prices just for order delivery, which I think a lot of restaurants do. They bump up their price if you buy from Uber Eats or from Gojek or from Kareem, and yeah, they just make it more expensive. So I pay a premium to get it delivered, but it's worth it. It fits into the routine better. I'm gonna chow into this, and I think I'm cooking up a masterpiece with the VSL script. I think I'm cooking up something special. Okay, change of plans. It is 5:15. Sky came here so we could film VSL hooks and intros, and well, now the lighting's good. We could have done it now. But I got a different Airbnb so we could film the new hooks and also the new video content. I need to do a homepage video, walkthrough video, bunch of other stuff. Lighting's terrible. There we go. So we're gonna go there now. I'm gonna bring some of the filming gear. I'm gonna stay there tonight and just work on making the videos after, recording the keynote presentations and also the hooks, which we'll do now, and anything else. And then I'm just gonna leave the lighting set up there and do the rest of the recording tomorrow. Probably stay there tonight as well. That's the quick change of plans. So we're about to buzz off, 15-minute drive to the new place, check in, just booked it 30 minutes, or 45 minutes ago. And Sky's meeting us there, we'll shoot the content. This is the light that I travel with. You've seen it in the vlogs before, but that's how it fits in the suitcase. This suitcase is not built for transporting camera gear, but this thing is beat up, but it still works. So that's all that matters. I need this. This is for me trying to get cool POV shots, because Daniel inspired me to try and make cool shots by putting this everywhere and getting top-down shots. That's everything. Okay, this is the filming gear. This is gonna make the amazing video content. So we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna record with this camera and the iPhone, and we'll see which one looks better, because iPhone stuff sometimes performs better because it's more natural looking. Okay, it fit. Got the light in there, tripod, light stand. Let's see if it closes. There we go, look at that. Then all the rest of the filming gear is in here. This is a bit of a chaotic one, I'm not gonna lie. Look at Sky.
Hi.
There's Sky. Sky, what are we doing now?
We're filming some Freedom Club content.
We are.
And you haven't told me specifically what, so I'm just here to hold your equipment.
Well, I appreciate that. And we've also got friends.
We've got two friends.
This one's name is Jupiter. And that
Pluto.
one, Pluto.
Pluto.
So that one's called Pluto.
Pluto and Jupiter.
Yeah. We were filming a video hook with this, and Sky was behind the camera. But now we're checking
Hi.
in. What's up, man?
Hi. Are you gonna go for a swim in here?
Maybe not right now.
Just jump on in.
With the light? And
No.
my laptop?
Maybe not right now
My
then.
laptop explodes now, I'm done. I'm not working again. I'm finished.
We don't want that.
No, we don't.
What's going on?
I was in a rush, okay? So I just put everything in the bag. It's all tangled up. This is, I swear I'm not normally like, okay. I'm not, you know what? This is the vlog. You see all the behind the scenes anyway. So yeah, sometimes it is like this. Well, by the time, this might be interesting. By the time this vlog's out, we're making a series on how we made our course, the Freedom Formula. And it's where Josh and I traveled around to 10 different cities in 30 days. Freedom! And filmed the program while we were moving around. So this is like a half speed run on setting things up, but we were a lot faster. We were setting things up, light stands, cameras, quick, pack up, put down. So this is light work. Am I glowing, Sky?
You are. Wow.
Wow.
Looks like you have like nice skin. That came out really wrong.
That's okay. I heard you.
Hi, Austin. No. Do not put this anywhere.
Recording is all finished. So I sat down at this camera and this setup here and just recorded for about 40 minutes straight. All the videos, I just went through all of the different scripts that I had, and all of it has been recorded, which is great. So now I'm gonna spend the rest of the day putting those together as part of the new website launch, because time is ticking. There's not much time left before all of that has to go live, and I set deadlines, so I've got to stick to them. But yeah, that's the setup there. Website, home video, walkthrough videos, VSL hooks, all that stuff. The only thing that I still need to record today are the actual keynote slides for any of the presentations that'll be on the website. And so I'm gonna go through and do those probably now, then I'm gonna pack up here, order some lunch, and then go back to the other villa, because this one was just for filming, go back to the other one and yeah, chip away at some work. I really think this light has seen better days. It is a bit deformed because I've been putting it in places that it shouldn't be, slapping it in my suitcase. It's not meant to do that. But this was the setup that we went with for the shot. So I had my scripts here on the screen, use my USB mic to record the audio because it's a bit higher quality, and then I don't have a lav mic, you know, sitting on my shirt. Set up the tripod there, and this was sort of the background. So a very relaxed background, neutral tones. Yeah, it's very on brand for us. It's 4:20. I have finished filming, recording the keynote presentations for some of the new videos. All of the other recording was done this morning. Yeah, my voice hasn't had a workout like this in a long time, recording this many videos back to back, and you have to do it with such energy because you don't want it to come across as flat or disinterested when someone's listening to it. They have to hear that you're really excited about the thing you're talking about, which can be tough after recording 6 videos in a row. It's tough to keep that energy high, but it's done now. I've got one more video to record, one more, which is a screen recording with my face in the bottom corner using a tool called Loom. But once I do that, then I'm gonna pack up here at this villa, go back to the old one, and that's where all my hard drives are so I can edit and put together these new marketing videos. Then I'm gonna spend the rest of the night going ahead and just building out the rest of the website, finishing off the final funnel pages that are missing, testing the checkout forms, making sure everything's working there. Got to set up a few more automations on the back end. It's gonna be a busy one. But it's also the 30th of August, so we've got 2 days until it's essentially launch day. 1st of September is when all of this is going live to the world. New website, videos, program, funnels, all that stuff is going live. And yeah, just getting ready for that. But it's gonna be a busy day to finish it off, making good progress. I've got the majority of the key things done, which is good. One thing that I've really come to learn over the past few years in business is the power of doing things that are high leverage, and I'm trying to get actively better at it. But I've noticed that there's certain things you do once and then you don't really have to touch again for a long time. So you put in a little bit of effort and you get lots of output for a long time. These are called asymmetric returns. When the input doesn't match the output, you put in a little, you get out a lot. And those are the kind of things that you want when you're building your own business. And so for me, spending a day recording new content that's going to be used in our marketing for 6 months, 8 months, potentially even longer, it's extremely worthwhile because of the amount of revenue that that produces. And so if you think of it in that perspective, yeah, taking a full day to do it, or spending a week on the slides, or spending maybe even longer to put together a really solid marketing video, it's so worth it because of the returns that it's going to give you consistently over time. So that's the way that I tend to look at it, instead of saying, oh, I have to get this done in my 2-hour work block. So, well, if this is genuinely that important, it's okay if it takes a little bit longer because it's going to produce results for me forever, or for a long time at least. And at the beginning of my journey, I was looking at the pretty low leverage tasks. I was doing data entry. I'm still doing some low leverage tasks now, which mentors of mine are telling me I should stop doing because it makes sense in my mind. I tell you now that doing high leverage things is good, and then I continue to do low leverage things with my time. So I'm actively working on that. But I think today has been a really good example of doing something once, and that will continue to work in the background for months, if not a year to come. All done, time to leave. The sun is going down, beautiful sunset. Got a lot done here today, but the work is not finished. The work is not finished. We've got to put together all those videos and then build the website. Look, I don't know how much of this stuff I'm actually gonna get done tonight, but I'm gonna try and do it all. Especially the videos, they should be finished, VSLs, all that kind of stuff. Get those up, uploaded, and ready for the new website. But I'm gonna get back before it gets done. Okay, slight change of plans. I'm back at the main villa now, and I was sitting here. Literally, I was not in my pajamas, but I was ready to go to sleep. And I was just gonna transfer some files across from today onto the hard drive, and then just do some editing and then go to bed. And then get up early tomorrow and go to Uluwatu, because I'm spending tomorrow night in Uluwatu. So I thought, I don't know, I had this crazy idea. I thought, why don't I just go to Uluwatu tonight, get the drive out of the way. There's gonna be no traffic because it's late. I think it's 9:10 p.m. So it's a 1 hour, it's about an hour drive. So with no traffic, it can be about an hour. Otherwise, it can be a lot longer. But then I had the idea and I'm like, I have to do it now. So I'm going to Uluwatu right now, about to hop on the scooter. And I've never driven at this time of night, so I'm assuming there's no traffic. But I'm gonna go there, and then I can do some work tomorrow, and then I was meant to be there tomorrow night anyway, so I can just spend the day working at the hotel instead of the day working at a co-working space, so it's probably better. But I'm gonna go there. Maybe we get some room service if room service hasn't finished yet. Get some steaks because I didn't really have dinner. I had fruit today. That wasn't really my dinner. But enough being said, I'm gonna go on the bike and we're gonna go to Uluwatu. Made it to the hotel. Feels like a travel vlog now, you know, bouncing around, going to hotels, but got here. It was on this big open road. There's this road in Bali to get to Nusa Dua, and I've never been to this part of Bali before. I like it. It's very clean. It's very, everything looks nice. And maybe I'm just getting, you know, a small glimpse of it, but I really like this part. So got to the hotel, checked in straight away, room service because I haven't had dinner. The only like proper protein option on there was beef cheek. So there was no steak. How is there no steak on the menu? What is this? But I'm gonna get that food. I'm going to get all the footage off of the SD cards from today and put them all on my hard drive. And then I'll start editing some, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty late here. And I wanted to get to, well, it's not even Uluwatu, it's Nusa Dua. I wanted to get to Nusa Dua early because then I can wake up tomorrow, full day of work, and then I don't have to think about it. Instead of having to drive down here in the morning, fumbling to get, you know, checked in, all that kind of stuff, and thought it would just be easier. But yeah, let's settle in, I guess, and wait for the room service. I'm so excited. I was thinking of something interesting on the drive over. So this was extremely spontaneous to come here. I was sitting in bed, about to go to sleep, and I thought, why not just go to Nusa Dua early? And then hopped on my phone, booked in a hotel for the night, and it's a nice hotel. And I was driving down here thinking, like, what has life become, I guess? It's so different from what it was, you know, even this time last year. Just the decisions, the freedom, being able to do, I guess, whatever I want, whenever I want. And it's the kind of freedom that I'd always dreamed of having. And I don't think I've really taken a second to, I guess, take it all in and realize. One time that it did hit me was when I took my mum and my stepdad to Hawaii a few months ago and pretty much covered everything. And that there, I got a glimpse of it. I felt it a little bit, you know, the fact that I had the freedom to be able to do that. And it wasn't that I was saving up for ages just so I could pay for that trip. It was just, okay, cool, I'll pay for it. And I think when you're so head down working all the time, you're in the hustle, you're in the grind, and you just have this vision and you're so confident that you'll get there of what that dream life will look like. But you haven't got there yet, but you're sure you will, and it's just a matter of time. I think then when you do get there, you kind of forget that this is what you dreamed of for so long. And so, yeah, it's interesting looking back and realizing all the progress that you've actually made. And I think we often have the tendency to compare ourselves to others and where they're at, but if we compare ourselves to where we were previously, then I think it's a lot more beneficial because you can see the growth and then you become really grateful for it. So yeah, just a little gratitude was hitting me as I was doing 100 k's an hour down the big open roads with no cars on it. It was very smooth getting here, a lot faster than if I probably did it in the morning. There'd be a lot of traffic. But yeah, just a bit of gratitude. I just came back into my room. I was just working out of one of the lounges here and yeah, they gave me a nice little letter and they gave me this interesting container filled with fruit. So that's a win. Thanks, Sofitel. All checked out now. Final thoughts on the Sofitel in Nusa Dua. Nice hotel, nice hotel. Except there's no steak on the menu. There's no steak on the room service menu. What is this? It's crazy, it's crazy. They're now about to head to a different spot in Nusa Dua for tonight and then back to Canggu tomorrow morning. But it's been a very productive morning so far. A lot of editing has gone on, new homepage video done, post-booking VSL, normal VSLs, 2 of them, 2 different ones, and now just working on the Ascension video as well. All of this, I'll probably just show you later in this video, what all of these videos are and what they actually do. But I'm super amped about them. They've come out really well, quality-wise, audio. Generally with VSLs, I'll be honest, I always seem to mess up something. it's the audio's not quite right, or I'm not super happy with the video, the hook, something's off. But with this, everything seems to be coming together well. Touch wood that it stays that way, but everything's looking good. And it just stopped raining, so I'm hoping that it doesn't start pouring again. So I gotta get on the road. Back in Canggu, at the new villa, just moved in about an hour ago, got all my stuff unpacked, and now just about to jump into some work, because within the next 24 hours, all of the stuff I've been working on over the past few weeks will be going live. The new website, the rebranding, the new low ticket program, all the new funnels associated with that, and a bunch of other exciting things all going live at the same time. And so it's going to be good fun, because I've been working so much on these things behind the scenes, but nothing has really been public and visible yet. So now it's time to just turn everything on. Everyone can see it and everyone can enjoy it. So I've been really looking forward to this day and the next few days to see the response from all that stuff. But I've just ordered my lunch. I just got, also I got back from Uluwatu and Nusa Dua. It was really nice spending some time there and bounced between a few different hotels. And it was a bit of a cheat weekend, we'll call it that, because I wasn't just sticking with the steak and veggies. I was having some different food while I was there, maybe a little bit of champagne, but back into the Canggu, I guess, routine. I'm living in a slightly different spot. Before I was in Sese, now I'm in Pereranan, which is a bit closer to, I guess we'll call it Canggu. Much closer to the gym, well not much closer, but quite a bit closer. I think it's 8 minutes, 10 minutes closer. Literally on the road where my gym is, so no excuses to not be going this week. But I'm gonna have my lunch when it gets here. I'm gonna knuckle down, get some stuff done for the rest of today, probably just sit at the desk and do as much as I possibly can. And I find that after having time away, I get really motivated to get back into work. And I always used to think that having breaks, a few years ago when I thought about having some time off or having a weekend away and not thinking about work or not doing anything with that work, I used to feel guilty. I used to feel like you need to be putting in the hours. But what I've realized is that if you're super productive when you're actually working and you're fully present then, and then you're fully present when you're disconnected from work as well, you're not thinking about it, you're not worrying about it. I know that doesn't happen at the start of the journey, and it didn't for me because there was so many things going on, but then it reached a point where it's like, you're okay. You've got enough money in your bank account to cover things if everything, goes horribly wrong. And that gives you a sense of freedom. So I think the initial goal should be to work towards that, where you're not constantly stressed and your cortisol levels are spiking because you're just on edge all the time thinking things are gonna break and you always have to work to stay on top of everything. But then I think the first goal for every entrepreneur should be to hit the point where they don't have to worry about money for basic necessities. And then they can enjoy time off and they don't feel guilty about not working because they know that when they are working, they're getting a lot of stuff done. And also the fact that they're taken care of. Like if anything breaks or blows up in their face, they've got it sorted. They've got some money stored away, they've been working hard, and that's what I've tried to do over the past few years, is build that up so then I'm not stressed about those things. And I saw such a dramatic difference from when I was focusing on survival and paying rent to focusing on, more financial freedom. And the difference in mindset and productivity and all those things, it's just so much better. It's a much better headspace to be in. And so I think that should be the initial goal. Not the, 10K a month, not the 20K a month, not doing 100K months, not, having the fancy car, the fancy watch, living here, living there. It's more so, I just want to cover the basic necessities so I'm sorted and I feel safe, I feel secure in where I'm at. And then you will have so much more energy and motivation to go after the bigger things. And you won't feel guilty if you can't work for a few days. You won't feel guilty if you have one bad day. Everything is okay. And that's something I've picked up over the past, I'd say year and a half especially. I still, maybe early last year, I used to guilt trip myself when I wasn't working. But when you become obsessed with the work, I think it's okay. And people say that obsession's not a good thing. I strongly disagree. I think you should be obsessed with your work. You should be obsessed with getting better. You should be obsessed with your health and improving yourself, because those are good things to be obsessed with. That's my little Monday motivational rant. I'm about to get stuck into the work. Crazy day today. Very busy, very busy. Was up early this morning for a call at 6 in the morning with someone we work with over in the US. And so we had to get the time zones right. So for us, or for me, and for Sky, it meant a 6 a.m. call for us, and then for Will, I think it was like 7:30 in the morning. That was a really productive call. It was a good one. The rest of the day, I've just been sitting down at the computer, smashing out the rest of this website build, getting all the final funnel pages together. And now I'm on to the last one. And the last one is the Freedom Fast Track sales page. This is the main one that we're going to drive a lot of traffic to. So it's very important that this is done right. And so I'm just drafting up what that will look like now. And I already had an idea of what I wanted it to look like, but then I decided to go back and redo it because, again, as I've talked about in this video so far, high leverage projects, it's worth spending the extra time, in my opinion, because you're not gonna have to go back and constantly update things all the time if you do it right the first time round. So it's well worth the extra effort just to make sure that it's done exactly how it should be and you get better results. But I got some food. I got some food from a new place because Gojek does this thing where you order food or you try and order food and it keeps saying card declined. And I checked and I'm not broke, so there's still money on the account, but I can't buy steak from the normal place I get it from. And so I got it from a new place. I've never had it from this place before. And I ordered it off Grab, which is the other food delivery app. So I got 2 steaks and 2 sparkling waters to keep it simple. No complications, no fancy stuff, just steak and, oh no, sorry, complication, spicy mayo. You dip the steak in there, it's really good. So I'm gonna tuck into this, get back into the work. I set the deadline of trying to get everything live by tonight. Previously it was last night. And I find that this happens every now and then when I'm working on a really big project is I severely underestimate how much time it's gonna take to complete it, as well as probably overestimate how much I think I can get done in a specific time frame. Which I don't think is a bad thing. It's good to have self-confidence and to want to push yourself and get more done more quickly, especially when, you know, it's such a big thing and could have a dramatic difference on the business. But the only time I found it to be negative is when you promise deadlines to other people and then you don't meet them. That's different. But if you're sticking to deadlines for yourself and you're like, look, I'm gonna put this to the side and I'm gonna spend more time on this particular part of it because I know it's very important and it's a high leverage thing to do, then in that case, look, you did make a promise to yourself, but I think it's okay in that instance to put in the extra effort because no one else would be willing to. You're willing to spend that extra hour on that landing page to make sure that it converts better. Or that's mainly for me if I know I could give more. It's not me trying to beat around the bush and procrastinate and delay launching things. Or having perfection paralysis. It's me saying, I know there's more I could do here to make it a lot better, and so I'm going to spend the time to do that. So that's been what I've been reminded of today as I continue to work on these pages, that if you do this right now, it may feel like a bit of a grind, especially if you're listening in. And I always try and talk to myself in these videos as if I was talking to myself, 3 years ago or 4 years ago when I was sort of just getting started. Well, I think it was 4.5, 5 years ago now. I was just getting started with building businesses. And I try and share the valuable insights that I've learned now that I wish I knew back then because they would have helped me out tremendously. And I think it's focusing on high leverage projects, things that lead to massive returns from, in comparison, a pretty small input. Like creating a new VSL probably takes me 2 days, 2.5 days for the slides, the updates, because I've got the template there already and I've used it lots of times. But then once it's done, it sits there for months and months and has tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad spend that will go to it. And so if you think about the amount that you will get out of that versus the time that you'd have to spend to create it, huge discrepancy, big asymmetric return, very much worth the time. So if I could tell myself something a few years ago, it would be focus on those kind of projects, the things that you set up once and will continue to produce for you, instead of the stuff that just doesn't scale, or the little things that you put in a lot of effort and you don't really get much out for it, like rebranding things. Like, even though I'm doing that now, it's a funny example because ultimately the branding doesn't matter that much. What does matter is the way you generate sales or turn attention into customers. So that's what I try and spend more of my time on right now. I'm gonna get into this steak because I'm very hungry and I've been trying to order food all day. It is 3:30 in the afternoon. I've been trying to not all day, it's a bit dramatic. Been trying to order it since 11 this morning, trying to order lunch, and it just wouldn't work. And I put my phone away and get frustrated and then keep working, and then I try again and it just didn't work. I'm gonna have my steak. This steak, honestly, pretty good. Got some green beans in there. Watching Billions, episode 6, season 1. Great show, great show. And then the sriracha mayo, of course, to dip in, because if you don't dip your steak in things, you know, are you really living life? That's how I like to think about it. It is super late. It's almost 11 o'clock, but I finished the funnel. The funnel is done. Made the pages, finished the last one, which was the Freedom Fast Track page. That one took me a while because it was a new type of page, not one that I built before. But I've got it done. And honestly, I don't normally stay up this late. I tend not to have like these late night work sessions. And when I think back earlier in my journey, I really had, well actually, let me turn a light on. It's dark in here. Yeah, if I think back to when I was first, I guess, building businesses or trying to build businesses, I did a lot of late nights, and I would always work at this one co-working space in Adelaide called ThinkLab, and love ThinkLab. Like, it helped me tremendously in the early parts of my journey and still does now. And when I was living in Adelaide, I would go to the co-working space that was in ThinkLab, and I would work from there. And I'd get in there in the morning, and I'd stay for a long time on most days. And then I always liked the evenings when everyone else had gone. I liked being in there solo. And so, yeah, I remember very fondly lots of late nights that I spent in there. I did one all-nighter in there, which I just sort of stayed and I was creating like funnel pages, funnily enough, and I just stayed there for the whole night, did it all, then went back home at like 4 in the morning or 4:30 and just crashed. So it's not technically an all-nighter, but almost got there. And so I remember back on those times when I was, really pushing, I was doing the late nights, but also what came with that was pretty poor health decisions. The only thing I was prioritizing in my life at that particular point was business, was growing the business, was trying to build a business, the work, and just putting the hours in. And I neglected health, and I neglected a few other things in my life. I probably didn't have the strongest relationship that I possibly could have had with family members, with friends especially, not really seeing anyone all that much. There was a few things that I said, look, I'm going to put those to the side and I'm going to focus and go all in on building this business because I know I need to do it. Otherwise, I'll just feel wrong. I feel like I haven't stayed true to myself. And so I think back on those times and I'm grateful that I had those because then it puts everything else into perspective. And what I've realized or come to realize now after being in this game for 5 years is that if you're doing the late nights, if you're doing the grind sessions and you know that you're being productive, you're not just doing it to make yourself feel better and make you think you're being productive just because you sit at a computer for 18 hours. If you're actually putting in those late nights and working on something, just know that it won't be forever and you won't need to do that always. And it'll be a season of your life that you'll look back on in a few years' time and be super grateful that you had it because it made you the kind of person that you are today. It allowed you to hit the goals and the targets that you set for yourself. And so I think those seasons of life where work is consuming, you're obsessed with it, it's everything that you focus on, I think that's okay. And a lot of people will say, no, you need to have balance, you need to juggle all these different things to live a balanced life. I don't believe in that. I think there's seasons of your life where you're completely obsessed with one part of it. And then in other times, there's more balance, if we'll call it that. But don't be shy of having those big periods of time where you're just focusing and working. And everyone doesn't really understand why you're doing it. Maybe family is questioning you. Maybe friends are like, why aren't you hanging out with us more? But you'll begin to notice that all of that can be put to the side. The real friends will stick there. Family won't go anywhere. And they'll understand if you make it clear to them that you need to put in the time now so that you can create a better life for yourself and for them in the future. And then once you start getting results and you're able to share that with them, then it's extremely rewarding. So yeah, getting a bit sentimental tonight, looking back on, when the last time I would have done this kind of work would have been, where I haven't been to the gym for the past 2 days or 3 days, and I've just been at the computer working pretty much the whole day. Uber Eats, not Uber Eats, but Gojek orders coming in with steak and just eating, working, and that's it. And the only time that I have done this in the past few years was when I was in terrible shape, wasn't taking care of myself. So I'm keen to get back into the gym tomorrow, but only once everything is launched. I said to myself, like, I need to get it done. It's gonna require more time. I don't want this to keep dragging on. This should have been done a while back, but obviously it's taken more time because I wanted to give it that effort that it deserved. But I'm excited to get back into the health routine for the rest of this week. But overall, very productive day. I'm gonna wrap it up now. I'm gonna do the automations and all that good stuff tomorrow, so then we can officially launch it. But right now, the website is almost live. I'll add the URL tomorrow, so then it'll be visible to the world. So by the time that you see this, you'll be able to see it all. And if you're even remotely interested in what I've been working on behind the scenes and showing you with these videos, then you can check it out. You know the URL by this point if you've been listening along. So excited to get it live and finally share it with the world. It's gonna be cool. Wednesday morning now, last day of the vlog week, which we'll call it that. By the end of today, everything is gonna be live and I'm gonna show it to you and I'm gonna prove it to you. I'll go on my computer later on and I'll show you everything. Because I'm just doing the finishing touches now, the final automations, cleaning up Zapier. A lot of technical behind the scenes stuff that once it's set up and it's working, it means it's gonna be a lot less work for the team. And so I like creating, again, a high leverage task of building automations and systems that will then save people a lot of time, which in turn saves us money, which in turn makes us more profitable. And so that's what I'm doing right now, is even though the website pages are finished, there's still parts that connect everything together. You know, when someone joins, they get an invite, and then if someone cancels a call, what happens here? So all of that kind of stuff. But the great thing with the infrastructure that I built out a few weeks ago, I think it was 4 weeks ago, on the first weekly vlog, or one of the first ones, was the CRM build out. And now that we've moved to a more robust CRM, it saves a lot of time and allows a lot more automations and things to happen, which is great because the more simple everything is, the better results we're gonna get. And then it's the less, I guess, things to think about when it comes to the operations and the automations. So I just got lunch, same order as yesterday, prove it to you, there you go. We got 2 Korean steaks, medium rare, some mayo, and 2 sparkling waters. There's also green beans in there, just wanted to mention that because it's not in the name of the food, but I got some green beans too, because I'm being healthy. So I'm gonna have that. Then keep pushing for the rest of today to get absolutely everything done. Last night, I was so glad that I went to bed having finished the Freedom Fast Track sales page because, yeah, that just felt like yesterday my brain just was hitting all these roadblocks and it was just tricky. It didn't know what to put where, but then I just kept going and had little micro breaks in between. Or I don't know if I even call them micro breaks. They were bits of procrastination, which helped me then get back into it, look at it fresh, and then I guess finish it off. And so that page is done. The biggest, arguably the biggest page for the company that has ever been made is finished. And so time will tell if it works well, if it converts, if people like what they see on there. But that's something we'll find out by the end of this week. I'm gonna have my lunch and I'll do an update before we wrap up this video. I wanna show you everything that I've built and just, again, a bit of accountability for me today to finish all of that stuff and get it all live. So then I can show you that it's all finished. It is done. It's 11:40. I'm knackered. I'll show you a quick glimpse, but then I'll do a proper debrief in the morning because I think it's probably better and I need to get to sleep. There it is. New website. Finito. Videos on there, content, reviews. Yeah, this has been a work in progress for a while, getting all this stuff together, but it's all up and all live and worked on all the automations. Every button works, every time you click something, every video is correct. Yeah, just everything is linked up properly. So it's weird, it's done. There'll probably be a few more things I'll need to do automations wise to make sure everything runs smooth, but I've been in Zapier all day today. and I was updating so many automations and creating new systems, and it felt like every time I, got close to finishing one of the pages or one of the funnels, there was all the other pieces that also had to be done before that could be done, and do this before that step, and all those kind of things. Bit of a rabbit hole. But we're out of the rabbit hole now, and the website's up. It's live. And now we're just going to slowly turn off everything from the old website. But I'll do a proper debrief tomorrow morning. I'm going to get to bed. Last night, or yesterday, was a big one. Finishing off everything for essentially the launch, finally. So everything had come together. Been working on this for the past 6 weeks, 7 weeks, maybe even longer. Working on the new site build and developing all this stuff, the new program, all those things. And now it's live to the world. So now we start promotion. Now we start the marketing. Because one thing I've learned over the past few years is that with multiple different businesses, is that you might have the best thing, but if no one knows about the thing, then you're not going to get sales and you're not going to make profit. And that's one of the big philosophies that I teach when I'm coaching people as well in our program is it doesn't matter if you select the best product, if you don't follow the marketing guides, if you don't create a great winning ad for Facebook and Instagram, if you don't optimize your product description and your product pages and your website and your pricing and your images, if you don't do these things, then it doesn't matter how good the product is or how much it solves a problem for a customer. They're just not going to buy it. And there's loads of examples of great products that were just marketed extremely well, and they're not necessarily anything special. So I've tried to focus on the marketing, always making sure that if I'm spending time on something, yes, commit time to build a great product, which is what I've done now. And created the product, I'm fully confident in it. I love how it turned out. I know it's going to work for loads and loads and loads of people. And so now it's a matter of the marketing. And so the product is set, and I like looking at it in two different frameworks. You look at it at the start for product development, like Alex Hormozi. You adopt the mindset of, okay, everyone would have stopped now, but I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to make this an incredible product. And I know a lot of other people promote that and say, have an incredible product, and then the marketing becomes infinitely more easy. And so that's one thing I may have neglected in the past, because as I said, I was so marketing focused. And so I would make sacrifices when it came to the product or the service. I would try and make it easier for myself, and I wouldn't build the best thing and then market it. And so now I'm confident that I've built the best thing that I can, and now it's time to market it. And so excited to document the rest of that journey with the launch, show you behind the scenes on how it's all working, people joining our new offer, the philanthropy that's going to come from that. And I don't know if I've mentioned it so far, but our new program, 100% of the profits from enrollment fees go to philanthropy. And our main area of focus is education and education-related philanthropy projects around the world. And so this was our way of, yes, we donate money from our normal funds, from people joining our, one-on-one coaching program. But we wanted a way where that, in a nutshell, we could get leads for free. Because if we advertise this offer and then people join, right now our current funnel is they opt in for a free report. And that free report shows us that they're interested. And in exchange, they give us their contact information. We still have to run an ad for that. We still have to make sure that we've got people to call those leads, like all those things to make sure that they're qualified. So we thought, why not give away something so good for so little, so that we know the people who are interested in actually doing this will buy the thing, and then we can essentially say, cool, we had to spend money on ads, we had to pay for this, and then the rest of the money can go to philanthropy, and now we essentially got this lead for free, because we haven't had to pay anything extra. They join it for 97, and then everything goes out for the expenses, and then we've got the bit that's left over for philanthropy. Then it's infinitely scalable in that way. We're qualifying leads at break even. We're getting people to spend money with us and deliver loads of value, and we're getting that lead at the end of the day for nothing because we're break even. And so I just see it as a much more lucrative system long term, using a low ticket offering to drive people into what we do. And look, even if people stay with the low ticket, they're still going to get incredible results, and we're going to be able to do really cool things with in-person events and philanthropy as well. And just looking at that and saying, cool, it's probably going to be much easier to get someone to join the one-on-one coaching program if it's a good fit for them, versus trying to convince someone to join it if they just downloaded a free report. So they've already paid us, much easier to ascend. That's my thinking behind it, and that's why I spent so much time making this thing. And the rebrand as well all leans into that, making Freedom Club a more desirable thing for people to be a part of, not just an e-commerce education company. Because you don't really put up your hand and you say, you know what, I'm proud to be a part of this. There are a few, and there are people that say that, but it's not like you would wear it on a shirt and be proud, and then people will ask you, oh, what's that? What's Freedom Club? Like, that kind of proudness to be a part of it, you feel like you're part of an exclusive club. That's what we've really lent into with the new branding. And so that's why I'm excited to continue pushing this, because I think it's going to have a dramatic difference on, I guess, our marketing and the kind of people that are joining and what they're looking for and their motivations. But it's been a big week, and this week was, apart from the trip to Uluwatu and Nusa Dua, I think it was a relatively accurate representation of what a grind week looks like for me. I haven't done one of these in a while, but it's just nothing else matters, just do the work. And yes, I didn't go to the gym. Yes, I didn't do my running and my swimming and my cycling, but I know that that's okay, because that takes up a lot of my time. And I just knew for now, this was going to be all consuming. If I just get it done, then I can go back into the normal routine. So starting from today, I'm back into that normal routine, but really hope you've enjoyed the past week, more relaxed vlog this week. I'm going to start also creating new YouTube videos that aren't just weekly vlogs, so I'm excited to share those with you all. Day in the lives, more story videos talking about different things I've learned along the way, and any cool stories I have, I've got plenty of them. And so yeah, as always, if you have any feedback on these videos, you want to see me talk about something in more detail or be more open with something, let me know. I'm always happy to hear it, and I'll see you in next week's video.